guys. So today we're going to be talking to Stacey, and she's going to be telling us her story in regards to online dating, and the stress it has caused for her and is continuing to cause for her. It's a really important story that a lot of us really need to take into account, because obviously with how society is now and online dating and the severity of things. So we're just going to wait for her to come in and join. But yeah. So she's really brave for coming on and talking about this. This is really huge. And
can you see me?
Hi.
Hiya, darling. One second, I'm trying to do this.
That's right.
That's all right. Is that okay? Can you see me?
Yeah. Can you see me? I'm going to move a bit quiet. Closer.
Yeah.
Currently I sound quiet. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, so I thought we should start about where it all began, how long ago it all started, and yeah.
It started. It started via an online site. It wasn't a dating site as such. Well, I'll tell you. I'll be honest. Someone tagged me in a photo of something that obviously he does theme parks on YouTube. Okay. So I met these like enthusiasts in Alton Towers, and he tagged me. The person, not him, but the other people tagged me, and then from then on, he just tagged along. Didn't leave me alone. Gave me the sob story. I've got nobody, and well, fair play. He hasn't got anybody. That is the truth.
Yeah.
You know, his phone book is completely empty. Like, can you see me? All you can see is my nose.
Yeah, I can see you really well.
So it went on from there, really. He lived in a tiny little bed sit, and I knew that I could offer a little bit. I wouldn't say I could offer a little bit more, but I knew that the kind of guy he was coming out as, he deserved more.
Yeah.
He has got children all over the place. He does. So he does. Yeah. I actually shared a photo of him on my Instagram, and he hit the roof, completely hit the roof. And people were approaching me, saying to me, "Are you actually with him? Do you know who this person is?" So obviously that really upset me. So I said to him, who is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's so and so." Obviously I can't say it because of protection of the children.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't talk to her. She's just trying to cause trouble." But it was all true all along. And a really good friend that I went to school with as well, and I was friends with him probably for 30 years, wants nothing to do with me now.
Oh wow.
Hi. Yeah, really. He kept saying to me, "Stacey, he's this, Stacey, he is that."
Yeah, so
and I just said,
trying to warm you, and and you didn't want to listen because obviously you were head over heels for the guy.
Yeah. But well, basically, yeah, you know, and we clicked straight away. He knew that I'd been through a really, really bad time. He knew I was already damaged, and it kind of just went from there, really, completely. Like, it just, you can't even write a book. Well, you could probably write a book, you know, and then obviously it all came to a head and everything like that. And when it came to a head because of something that I noticed on his body.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning, in the sense of like, so how was he when he started talking to you? Like,
amazing. Every girl's dream.
And like, do you want to explain? I'm guessing it was like to do with love bombing, because that would be a really good, interesting way to try and explain
probably
what love bombing is.
Yeah, so probably it's like it was basically like a Tinder swindler. Have you seen that on Netflix?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. What, like money and things like that?
No, he never paid for anything.
Okay.
It was always me. I think he'd taken me to one time away, which was a buy one get one free at Alton Towers. I think that's what he did. Now, obviously, that's what he does on YouTube. He goes around videoing it all on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, like, you say, like, he was like the Tinder swindler, but like, how? Like, what was he like at the beginning? Did you fall so head over heels?
Yeah, just was absolutely perfect at the start. You know, we can do this, we can travel, we can do this. You know, the kids accepted my children, which obviously it's quite a lot nowadays, isn't it, for somebody to accept it's like what people call it baggage, don't they? But my kids come with me, like we come as one little package. He accepted the kids. It had been so long that I've been near anybody, and he seemed to understand, and we just clicked straight away. Like within 2 weeks, I got points on my driving license, and I know my friend's on here because I can see. I got my points on my driving license, and then he's like, well, I've got no points, so put the car in my name, put the insurance in my name, and you be a named driver. Which it was a hell of a lot cheaper. It was.
Yeah.
But so then he tried telling me that, obviously when the police got involved, he tried telling me the car was his. He tried telling the police the car was his, but it wasn't. It was bought out my mum's inheritance. Oh. So I'd been with him like 3 weeks, and he was driving Mercedes around basically. Wow. Because it's one of those things, like, you know, obviously it's one of those situations, you know, when they know you've got you love by the bollocks. Yeah. You know, so where he lived was not the best place at all. Like, I can't say where it is, but it was near to me. And I said to him, I said, you can't live here, it's disgusting, like mold, you know, like, and things like that. And I said, so while you find somewhere else, you can come and stay with me. So he was like, really? I was like, well, yeah, if you want, you know. So he came and stayed here, and I think he was here for about 2.5 weeks before I realised everything and what he was doing. And yeah.
What way he was doing? So did you want to like expand on like the little like red flags that were starting to show up? The red flags
were just like the control, which I'm not bothered about, a bit of control in a relationship and the protection, but you can go to a different level. Yeah. Like, it's like as soon as he had his feet under the table, that was it. You know, and we never, if I used to say to him, do you want to go out for something to eat? No. Do you want to go out for a drink? No. I said, well, what if we just go for a drive? Obviously, I'm from Huddersfield, so it's where we used to go. Like, I used to enjoy going for a walk in Home Firth, and he's like, no. But it all makes sense now of what I've been told, why he doesn't want to be seen anywhere. Okay. I'm still waiting for the Clare's Law to come back.
So do you want to explain the Clare's Law?
The Clare's Law is
something
more
I
like,
haven't read about.
Yeah, well, and not many will. It's more like the domestic violence side of things. So you can say, like, for example, anybody. So you can go, if you think you're going to start a relationship with somebody, you go and you do the Clare's Law, and you can know the background if it's any domestic violence or anything like that. And obviously, I gave his name and date of birth. Where he used to live with his ex before he came here. And then they rung me back within 20 minutes and said, is there any chance you're happy to do the Sarah's Law, which is when it comes to children? And I've still got to wait for the results.
So what's Sarah's Law?
Sarah's Law is like to check if he's got like any, it's like to check anything to do with children in the background.
Oh, okay.
But that's obviously what I've heard. And then the police actually rung me back and said to me, do you mind if do you give the consent to do the Clare's Law, to the Sarah's Law?
Yeah, and you're putting one and one together and trying to work out if they're ringing you and saying that because of it, or if they're just offering it as a thing they do.
Now he hasn't ever been on his own with the children. Like, he wasn't here long enough for that. But it was all like, it was his way, you know, his way. And he has been, I've heard from the other people, is being arrested before for rape allegations. Coercive behaviour.
Yeah.
What else was it? Narcissistic behaviour. No, I didn't know you could actually be arrested. I didn't know narcissistic behaviour was something, but it obviously is. No, I didn't know either. And I just think it's so important. Like, obviously, I met him on another platform, but I think to get people checked. And I know it's not, you can't exactly go and vet people. No. Like, I'm not taking you for a drink until I know what your XYZ, but you've just got to be so careful, like, who you're inviting to your home. Yeah. Because I had to he wouldn't leave. Like, I said to him, I said, you need to go. He's only a factory worker in Home Firth. That's all he does. It's nothing important, but he's just very much my job this and my, you know, my this and my this, you know. And when I have put on my Instagram stuff like being upset and things like that, I've had work colleagues who work with him, coming forward saying to me this happened last year, is on trial in November. You know, so obviously I will find out more when the Clare's Law comes back.
Yeah.
But I confronted him about a certain something, and that's when it all just went wrong.
Oh, okay. So was he like violent, or like what was the first like red flags in the way of, like you said that he was getting controlling? You said after, like, was he only there for 2.5 weeks at your house, or like what was the time?
Obviously it was straight away like wanting to you know, put authority at school so he could pick the kids up so I could stay at home.
Yeah.
If I didn't pick him up on time at work, where are you? What are you doing? Like, you should be here by now, you know. And obviously that with the car as well. I didn't even notice. I just thought it was everything.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And he knew how damaged I was, you know, and he met the children. That's a big thing. That's a massive thing. They don't see their dad. They've not seen him for a long time. But I just think that's what created the whole situation. And I said to him after I confronted him about this certain thing, I said to him, I said, you need to leave. I said, you can't stay here anymore. This cannot go on. And he said, the only way I'm leaving out of here is handcuffs. So the police are involved.
Wow.
So did you have to call the police, or did you call the police to get him out, or what did you do?
Well, yeah, I think it were a bit of both, because I was like, look, you need to leave. And then I said to him, I said, we go get me something out the car. And that's when I tried to lock the door with him out there, but he still managed to get in.
So like you say that you asked him to leave. Was it something like you said, like people were coming forward to try and warn you about him? Like, what were they trying to warn you? Are you allowed to talk about this?
I'm not bothered. I'll say his name. I don't care. I'll say his name if you want. No. I'm not bothered at all. He completely needs degrading completely.
Yeah.
Like, really. So
happened?
One of the children, apparently one of the children's mothers is apparently there's a rape allegation kicking about. Okay. And then there's a child abuse allegation kicking about. Now, I asked the police when he went from this house, and he said to me, he says, his exact words were, "They're chatting shit." I'm like, well, you're going to say that, aren't you? You know, so another one of the mothers came to me, which, do you know what? She's actually been really helpful all the way through. I think she gets a bit upset about it, because I've asked questions and she said, well, I don't really want to go into it. I think she's got her own little case or something going on as it is. But he's like the king breeder. You can't even know. You can't like. He just has children, leaves them. But when he left here, he left everything, like even down to his toothbrush here. So I have no idea where he went then. But I have been told he'll be straight back on dating websites, setting up another home to do this again to somebody else.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you know what? There was a picture of him on the wall, and when the police walked in, the police were like, "Is that him there?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's him." And the copper were like, "Well, yeah, that's what you do, isn't it? When you move into a girl's house, is put a picture of yourself on the wall." You know, like, because that's what the first thing he did. But even the things here now, the stuff's gone now. Even everything, like even the tea towels, the plates, I've replaced everything. My dad put it all. I don't know where it is. My dad just said, "Look, I'll take it," and that's what he's done. I don't know what he did that night, but I knew there was something wrong that night, because it was whenever it was like round his payday, and it used to be that I used to say to him, I'm going to bed now, and he'll say to me, no, we go to bed together. Why are you going by yourself? And I'm like, no, because I'm tired. And he never used to let me go upstairs to bed or anything on my own. And then this night he's like, well, I'm not tired yet. And I thought, okay, then that's fine. So I had a shower, come back downstairs. I said, are you coming to bed yet? He's like, no, I'm not going to bed. I'm going to watch a film. I thought, that's not you. Like, that's not normal. And it just clicked. I let the dog out and it just clicked. And I said to him, I said, you're waiting for your payday and you're going to leave, aren't you? He's like, oh, shut up, will you? You know, it just went from there.
What do you mean, payday to leave?
It was waiting for his wages, because he never had anything. He never had any money saved or nothing. Like, whatever he earns, he spends straight away.
Yeah.
I've had multiple debt letters come in here.
So you're saying he's waiting for his payday to, like, what, buy stuff online, or what?
No. So he could leave, because I questioned him about that certain thing in the shower. So I think that night, obviously I don't know if he went, I don't know, because I've not heard anything, but you know, to go from something so special to give somebody something and then absolutely no contact at all. But he's done it to he's done it to all of them. He's done it to all of them, the kids, the mothers, everything.
Wow.
He just, yeah, but luckily it was only like 4 months, 5 months or something.
Oh, okay.
So I know it's a lucky escape, but right now he will be setting up something else somewhere else to do exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just obviously my health as well, personal health took a big downfall as well.
Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah, because obviously I confronted him when he was in the shower because we were about to go to bed, and I said to him, I says, "What's that?" You know, on his bits, and he's like, "Oh, nothing. It's just because I think I called it thrush or something." And I said to him, I says, "No, it's not." He's like, "Well, what do you think it is then?" I says, "Well, I think you've probably slept with as many people as you possibly can until you found me, and then you'll probably go back and sleep with as many people as you possibly can." And yeah, it came back. Yeah, not very nice. He wasn't a very nice, but yeah, I don't really want to say it because it's a horrible word.
No,
but yeah, it's so important. And obviously I don't know, he met the other child's mother on Tinder, he told me, because he showed me like he was making himself up big, and I am. But when it comes to but he just everything, he gets an old man to take him to work so he doesn't have to pay bus fare. But because he's got that many people that have got so much grudges against him, like obviously families, Leeds, Bradford, Home Firth, now obviously me where I am, he doesn't go anywhere. And that's why he uses all his money and goes on holiday, because then nobody knows him on holiday. Wow. Nobody knows him. He can tell all his bullshit stories to everybody, can't he? While he's abroad.
Wow. Okay, so basically what you're saying is he found you online, and then he love bombed you so much that he was with you, and then he got you sick, and then also and now he's left you, and now you found out that there's like sex, what's it, is he the sex offenders register? You need to find out a little bit more about it.
Obviously I went on to I went on something, can't remember what it was. It's something to do, it might have been Facebook, I think it might have been Facebook, and one of his work colleagues came up, said to me, "Have you got a number you can ring me on?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd prefer a phone call because you don't know if it's someone messing around here." And he rung me and he's like, "I'll ring you after work." And I thought to myself, let's just try and work it out here, like, do you actually work at Home Firth Dyers? And he went to me and went, "Yeah, I do. I finish at 2:00. And I thought, right, that's fine, because I used to pick Matthew up then at that time. And he rung me and he went, "You do know he's on trial for Snapchat declaring his love for a 12-year-old girl on Snapchat?" And I was just like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's on trial and he's soon to be going back to prison." And I was just like, well, so then again on Facebook, somebody called Billy came forward to me and said he was texting my niece off Snapchat, and she was 12. But I didn't say that I'd spoke to different people. That's basically, yeah. You just don't know. And you know, do you know what? To look at him, he was such a good-looking, nice guy. And like I once said to him over a meal, I said to him, I said, "You are a really good-looking guy," and he messaged back saying, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I've changed everything in the house, even down to the sofas, because it sat on them. Yeah. But obviously I've got ADHD, and I'm going through the tests for is it fibromyalgia? I can't even say it. It's like fibromyalgia or something. So he knows that I suffer with mental health anyway. He knows that, like there was not one stone unturned of like my past or anything. He knows everything, the mistakes I've made and everything like that. And he accepted it. And I thought, well, clearly these people, and that's all he said to me. And that's all he said to me. And obviously the first person, she asked him to leave because the relationship just broke down. I've not really gone into it much with her because if she wants to tell me, she would do. But obviously when the one before me, the serious relationship before me, because apparently I think he's been down many holes as a minor, by the way. It's horrible. I think he's just that way out. And he just, and then the other one, apparently that's when the rape allegation started.
Oh my God.
And his story was, she's claimed rape on me to get me out the house. So I struggled to get rid of him. She struggled to get rid of him.
Oh.
And it seems to be like that. Apparently that's what he does. He like right now he's already put a picture on his Instagram of like, can't wait for holidays, you know, away in this, and saying he's going to Morocco and things like that, because nobody wants to know him around here.
Yeah.
Even his HR at work spoke to me.
It's scary, the thought as well, that if he doesn't get prosecuted for any of these allegations and things, that he's still out there, like you say, to continue the cycle and go again, create a new profile, get into someone else's life, and just keep going round and round and round.
You see, when the police come with the results for the Claire's Law and the Sarah's Law, they don't print them out and give them you. They come round to the house and sit down and stuff. It's so you can't go saying and everything into it. But I've had HR ringing me as well, because obviously I when it all happened, I put him on Facebook, and then someone's like, oh, that's so and so that works at Home First Eye, isn't it? I was like, yeah. Oh, he's a weirdo. You don't know what to do with him. Everything just seems so real, you know. But I guarantee, I'm not being unlocked, but I guarantee he'll be back on his dating websites and finding his next. And it'll be someone who's fragile, not much confidence. Like, even to the point, if my dad rung me, he'd say, what is he ringing you for? I was like, well, my dad's rung me at 6 o'clock every single night, probably since I was at college.
Yeah. That's what they want.
You know?
They want all the attention for themselves.
Just like when my dad pulled up in his new car, I said, "You're gonna come out and see Dad's car?" No, I've not. I've got no interest in it. It's a shit car. I was like, okay, well, you're gonna come out and see it? No. There's no reason for me to see my dad. I says, do you want to meet my sister? No, I don't need to meet your sister. And it's like he doesn't want. The whole thing on his YouTube is so fake. Honestly, it's not him at all. It's filtered up so much. He just loves himself.
But that persona for YouTube and everything, was that the kind of person that you met to begin with, and the person that you kind of fell with, or what?
Probably for the first month, yeah.
So it was like trying to keep up appearances and you
know, put effort into himself, and then it slipped on it. The honeymoon period doesn't last, you know. And when the police spoke to me, the domestic violence team, they said to me, how long have you been with him? And I said, oh, about 4 months. She's like, yeah, because people can't keep it up after 4 months.
Yeah.
You know, they slip, don't they, a bit?
Yeah. So. I think they say something sort of like, if you can change after 8 weeks, or like you can't keep up appearances after 8 weeks or something. Yeah. Read, wasn't it? And then like, especially if you're living together, like it's just too exhausting that you end up slipping into it more, and then you start revealing little more traits.
Yeah.
But like, what other traits were there like that you saw? Was it just?
He was quite. He never like. I don't think he'd do anything. It was more of like a control thing when it came to like, you know, replying to a text message. I'm busy. What do you want? But then if I didn't reply, what are you doing? Like, where are you? Like, I've got cameras in the house because my little girl, she can be quite naughty. So when it comes to going to school in the morning, I put the alarm on, the cameras, and she thinks it's the kid police. So she runs and gets her shoes on. And but yeah, he had the cameras, and like he would have messaged me in the morning coming back from school, and he'll say, why are you not home yet? You know, and he just I don't mind, like, yeah, I don't mind. The man should be the man should be in like family man and stuff like that. I was brought up by a bloke myself, or brought up by my dad, but he just took it to another level, and apparently he did the same with the other girl as well. I can't say her name. I'll say his name. I'll write it down. And something else as well. He said to me, he says, well, if you love me, you'd get a tattoo with his name, because then obviously he wouldn't. He's like, well, if you don't do it, I'm gonna leave. I was like, but he knows how to manipulate. Do you know, like, he was really good at it, you know. And like, you jump through this hoop, and like I do this, and it just see. And my friend said exactly the same. My friend Lou said exactly the same. He had his feet well and truly under your table. No idea he is
So
now.
when he was doing all this and showing these kinds of behaviors, like what was in your mindset, like so that other people can know, like what were the excuses you were making for him?
I was trying to accept it because I kept saying to him, you can't do that, it's a bit weird that, or you can't do that. It's like, oh yeah, no, it's just because I've been on my own for so long. I'm used to being on my own, you know, like leaving washing everywhere and stuff, and you know, and then he started complaining that his washing wasn't soft enough, you know, just stupid stuff like that. But the exact way to do it, honestly, is the Tinder swindler, but take the money out of it. Honestly, that is the best way. He's not who he says he is at all. Nobody wants to know him. Nobody is chill.
And like, well, and do you think that the reason you were putting up with the behaviour is because like he knew that you had like a low self-esteem, and you didn't feel like
100%, and I also think it's because I felt a little bit sorry for him because he had nothing. Like, if I don't look down on anybody. I like to help people. You can see from my account, I like to help people. But where he was living was horrible. Like it was just horrible. And I just said to him, I said, well, you find somewhere else, you're gonna have to come stay with me, and it only like 2.5 weeks. And it was just like, that's where he'll be now. He'll be manipulating somebody else. That's exactly what it is.
Oh,
yeah, it's my friend.
Yeah.
You need to watch the Tinder Swindler if you've not already watched it.
Yeah,
it's cringe.
Yeah, all the women that he was doing it to and getting all the money from. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, he was very much like that, and debts as well. Like, people have got debts. It's normal. Everyone's got debts. But the debts that I've got coming through my house door is ridiculous, and I'm just going to send him to his work. I don't know where he is,
but you know where he works. So at the end of the day, like, they'll know it's not you. We've had problems with having people when we used to have a house trying to get us in trouble with the debts. We'll go, they don't live here, they just put our address. Like, we've had issues like that.
Yeah. It was when he was arrested, 2 days after, I did have a message saying that he changed his bank address, which is good, you know. But going back to why he's always abroad, like all the time. He'll go for like on a weekend or something like that, and that's why he goes abroad. And it's his ex that made that comment, and it made all the sense. He goes abroad because he can go and swan around with his bullshit over there, then, can't he?
Yeah, if he has got narcissistic traits, as it does sound like by the sounds of, like, obviously taking advantage of your vulnerability and like doing it that way, and love bombing you and things like that, and making fake promises and making it sound so perfect that you want to stay. Like, when people want to go, when they want to escape, is because they're like, well, people know me around here, like you're saying. But he needs to have that kind of validation of, look how amazing I am, to like feed his ego, and that's what a lot of narcissists generally do need. Because
it's when when I first started talking to him, his exact words were, and I remember it like it was yesterday, the lay-by at the bottom where I live, and we'd gone past it on the way to school, and I said, I'll text you when I get home. And I got a message saying, how you know?
How are you supposed to know that the person is abusive? You didn't know anything at the beginning.
Yeah, that's what the Clare's law comes into, isn't it?
Yeah,
just be careful. Basically, what I was trying to say is, don't invite them into your home that quick. You know, but that's the thing with Matthew. I couldn't do anything else because he didn't want to go to a bar. Like, I'm not very social. He didn't even want to go to the forest in Home Firth after work, and he works 2 minutes away from there. It's like, no, we'll go to your house. Yeah. And then that's when I said to him,
that's on its own, though, is a red flag in itself, isn't it? Like, that's a red flag definitely to look for. If you don't want to go out and go anywhere, like, you don't even have to spend money. Like, you can go for a walk, you can go to the forest.
I said that we could go for a walk at Blackmoor Foot, and he's like, no, we'll just go to yours. Just go to yours. And it wasn't a sex thing either, you know, like, it wasn't that. But when I first started chatting to him, he said to me, he says, here's my number, will you FaceTime me? And I said, why? What do you want me to FaceTime you for? Because I want to make sure it's not one of my exes playing a joke. And he was sat at work in his uniform behind his machine in a factory, and he's like, I'm just making sure it wasn't one of my exes playing a joke on me. I went, really? Is it that bad? He's like, oh God, yeah, they're all out for me. You know, they're all out for me.
Yeah.
But then he tried to make excuses. He told me that he's told me that his you know, like obviously if we had an argument and he'd be like, oh, I don't know, what's that say? Going live here just to speak to you all. When he was like when I was like questioning and I was backing him in a corner, which I didn't mean to, it was just a conversation. It's like, oh, I do this sometimes because my granddad passed away. Well, his granddad is firmly still on the earth, still here. So that was another lie, you know. And then obviously I questioned him about that, and then he'll be like, oh, it's so and so's fault. They said that, you know.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And
it makes you question everything you've ever been told by them and everything you're ever going to be told by anyone else as well, because you suddenly lose all this faith and this trust that you have in people, don't you?
You don't want to, and that lady made a valid point. You take everyone at face value.
Yeah.
Don't you? You don't think like, you know, and you just don't think. Like, I remember a friend going on a date and she's like, I need a new dress. I'm like, well, no, because if you're going to be with him and things go on and progress, he's going to see your hair up with no makeup anyway. So you might just go in leggings and hoodie.
Yeah.
I think
literally
when I first went to meet him, I had an antisocial hoodie on. I think, but yeah, it's a massive thing. Like the Clare's Law is a big thing. It does take a couple of weeks to come back, or maybe longer to come back. But we will.
Yeah, but then in those few, I think it's very important. I think hopefully it is for men as well. Men
I think
can also do
it
this,
is for men. I think it is because women can just be as bad. I remember my mum and dad arguing when I was growing up, and my mum rang the police on my dad and said, I think he's going to break my hand. I think he's going to break my arm. And I remember, and the copper said, because we were listening on the telephone upstairs, and then the copper's like, well, how's he going to break his hand? He says, because I keep hitting him and it's hurting. Like that. And so it is just as bad for women to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course it is. Yeah. It's not just men, is it?
No, of course. I was wondering if the Clare's Law would be for men as well, which I was wondering.
I don't see.
So, like, I think it should just be like a given, as horrible as it is to say, but in the society that we are in, like, if these things are made available for us and they need to be used. So, I think the red flags 100%. That you said at the beginning is don't let them into your home right away.
No.
And you need to, if you want to run a background check and you like are enjoying the conversations that you are having with them, then ask for the background check, and then you guys can like talk and get to know each other and see if they can have appearances of like communication and going on dates, and make sure they've actually got the things that you actually like about a person.
I think that's why you came in the house. Like, I remember the first time I met him, I parked up in my car on the side of a golf course. And I was like, he's like, where do you want to go now? I said, I'm going to have to take you home. He's like, why? And then I realised, and then but he's very much good at telling like what other people have done to him.
Yeah.
So his ex, she's been absolutely fantastic. She's been out. At first I were a bit like, I don't know, but yeah, she's all right now. And apparently it's his trait. And all he ever does is, because that's how I found her, because he were giving it all this, oh, she's done this to me. Then obviously when the red flag started showing, I contacted her and I was like, look, I've started seeing him and I just want to know. And he's like, I don't, her exact words were, I've got no idea why he passes my name on, because he knows I'm going to tell you all the truth. Apparently people come to her. She was the longest standing one.
Wow.
Yeah, so apparently she's but she will say the complete truth, which I obviously respect her for that. But I just need to know. I don't know, because I get attached. I get attached very easily, and I'm not even afraid to say it. And I've got a lot. You know, I'd like to think like, I don't know. I just like to think he wouldn't do it to somebody else, but it'll be somebody who's of a weak, fragile mental state. He wouldn't go for somebody who's like, I don't know, a bank manager or something, because she'll challenge him.
Yeah.
And then he won't like it, because then she'll be going out with her friends, and he won't like that. So, but it's a shame, because I honestly thought he was amazing. Like, even my dad said to me, Matthew's a really nice guy. Let's just hope he's not a passerby. And then when it all happened, my dad messaged me saying, I hope you're okay. He even had me shocked.
Yeah.
The neighbour even said, I can't believe he's done that. It's all on camera on the thing. because he tried to tell the coppers that I'd kept him in the house. I was like, no, the back door's locked because I've got a dog and an autistic child that'll run off. Don't try and keep your prisoner at all. So, yeah.
Amazing how they can like fool not only you but those around you as well. Like they
Oh
can put
yeah,
on that good of a show
100%.
that
My
it
best
sucks
friend,
everyone else in.
my best friend Lou, she said to me, I says, come round, Matthew's here, I want you to meet him. Came round and she's like, do you know what? He's a really nice guy. And then she was upset and sorry to me. She was like, Stacey, I'm so sorry that the fact that he tricked everybody.
Yeah.
Completely.
That's right.
Everyone.
I think that's especially important why that law is so important then, definitely.
Oh, 100%, yeah. 100%.
Because people are so good at faking it and trying to mirror people. And
it's like he told me his previous relationship, she didn't want to take him anywhere. He always just sit in the garden by himself. She were off all the time. She didn't want to take him anywhere because the family didn't like him. But obviously now, because I've experienced it, it's because obviously he didn't want to go anywhere. I think. Yeah. Oh, was that temporary? Was it? Can you add me also?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably him under a fake name.
It's like Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like you obviously he's gonna, and I said this to the police, says what will upset me is because he'll be making me out to be such a bad person to other people.
Yeah.
But I will have to be a monster in his story because it'll make him feel better, won't it?
Yeah.
Of course it will. You know, and I had everything just so fine before I let him in my life, honestly. Everything was okay. And my dad came on Sunday and he said to me, he says, do you know what? He says, this house is like so chilled now, he's gone.
Yeah.
You know, I've got videos of him I'm dying to put on my Instagram, I just can't because he just looks ridiculous. You know, like when he's playing around, dancing and fancying himself and stuff. It's like his work had a massive fire probably about a month ago, and he had 2 pints in the Sands house and he was telling people that it was arson while he was in his work uniform. But when HR rang me to make, because he didn't go into work that day, he must have had me down as next to kin because he's got nobody else. I told him, I said to her, I says, this is what Shooty were doing in the pub. Because he was just giving it the all big I am.
Well, saying that he did it?
No. He was just saying, they're probably just trying to get rid of the building because it's old. You know, and I just said to her, why would you do that? Like, why would you say that? And I went, well. I don't know.
He's in the habit of just talking absolute shit and just making stuff.
Yeah. It's king breeder or big bullshit. That's what we call it.
Yeah, we all know people that just give it all crap all the time. Yeah.
So
what are you doing to try and recover from this? Like, what? So you say it's like really been bad for your mental health. Like, what's going on?
I'm upset. I am upset. I'll be honest with you, and I've lost a lot of weight. I've had school involved. I've had everybody involved. Well, I'm not everybody involved. I got offered the help. Obviously, I don't need it. My friend's been staying with me. The children, I explained to the children that he's gone back. I just said he's gone back to work. They slept all the way through it.
Wow.
Blue lights, police in and out. They slept all the way through it, like passed out.
It's probably the best thing for it.
Yeah.
My eldest just said, "I'm just happy we've got mummy back." Because like, if she came and give me a cuddle on the sofa, he'll be like, "Can't you just leave her alone? Give your mum 5 minutes."
Yeah.
But it's only ever been us three.
Yeah.
You know? So he didn't like that either. He didn't like the relationship I had with my dad.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. Just waiting for this beautiful connection conversation to finish.
This is someone else that wants to go live another time, but later on.
Yeah, don't worry.
Don't worry, we're going live another time. Don't worry, I'm not doing him going today.
Yeah, so I just think it's important, you know, to just don't be as hard. Don't make it hard to let people in your house. Like, yeah, by all means. Like, if you give your number, you can change your number or you can block them, can't you, and stuff like that. But if they know where you live, and you should see the size of the locks I've got on the back of the door that the police put on the back of my door. He won't come back because that's the thing. He will he'll do it behind closed doors. He wouldn't have an argument out and about. And if it came to an argument, he'd say, "Oh, come on, just get back in the car and we'll go and we'll talk." And then it'll be an explosive argument. You know, like it was like just things like demanding. Just, well, we need to get me on the house now, don't we? And we need to do this and we need to do that. And I'm like, yeah, eventually we can.
They're trying to rush everything really fast.
He's got nothing, you know, and this is the thing, like, nobody wants, he's burnt so many bridges with everybody. He was brought up by his grandparents, and he used that as an excuse. This is before I found out that his grandparents absolutely gave him the world.
Yeah.
And I mean the world, they took him all over the world. But it was like, oh, it's because I haven't been brought up by my mother and my mum and my dad. And I was like, oh, well, that's quite sad, that. And then as I've come out, and he's like, Dad thinks you're an asshole, mate. Without sounding rude. It's just, I just hope to God, and I know, obviously I can't say her name, but the girl that I contacted, he'll be like, Stacey, he mentions me to everybody, and I don't know why he does it. Yeah, so there we are.
So what are you going to be doing moving forward from all this? Like, what's like your next stages?
Just
are you going to
carry on taking each day as it comes, and just to try and make the whole thing aware, like the awareness of it. You know, like my sister's married, like she's not gonna do out like this, but it's just as easy. And I don't know about you with your Instagram, but if you look at like hidden requests, there's weirdos in there, aren't they? There's strange comments, always like nude sex cam and stuff. Do you get all that? Yeah. And it's just like, you just don't know. And like in nearly 100,000 followers, he will be lurking in there somewhere. Of course he will.
Yeah.
You know, your two exes probably will be, and exes of exes and stuff, because they've nothing else to do, have they?
No.
They've nothing else to do.
But
yeah, I can't mention the kids or their name, but I'm more than happy to. I want to. But there's a video when he's dancing to that Savage Love, and he's messing about, and it's just like thinking back now about the words. It's just so fitting. But that's about it. But I'm going to try and make something positive and try and, do you know, I don't know how I need to do it. My dad said to me when it all happened, he says, try and make something positive to protect other women.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm going to try and do.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do, because then you're channeling the hurt and the pain and the whole negative experience into something that kind of takes your mind off of it, because although you're thinking about it, you're not just
it's trauma, isn't
it?
You know, and obviously at the start, the doctor even said you are probably going to suffer from PTSD for this. You're like moving forward and stuff like that. You know, it took a lot. The kid's dad just left. Obviously, it's a long story that I don't hold anything against him. He went in a good way at the time. But you know, it works for us. He doesn't see the children, and he knows that I look after them.
Yeah.
He doesn't see them, you know. But it came back to a point at one point we were he posted a letter to one of his exes about his youngest child and put my number on it. And like bigging himself up. I drive a nice car now, and I've got a nice house, and I want custody of you know who. And I was like, what? You know, he just. I just hope to God, like one day he's going to meet somebody and do this. Like I haven't got a brother. I haven't got, you know, it's just me and my sister and my dad. My dad's too old. He's a 70-year-old man.
Yeah.
But one day he will do this to a family, and it's going to go very wrong for him. I don't want it to. I don't want any hurt bringing to him.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, when you find out the results though from what was said with what's the other one? There's Claire's law and the other one.
And there's Sarah's law as well.
Yeah, when you find out about Sarah's law, then you'll be able to know what to do a bit more regarding that as well.
I don't, like the police said to me, we can't give you a copy of them, but it's up to you what you do with the results. So I'm more than happy to show his face and tell him exactly. Not everyone can be lying, and there's definitely no way the guy that I grew up with, I went to school's lying. Yeah. No way at all, because I know he wouldn't do that. And now I'm having to like say, because his last message I got from my friend said to me, he says, you believe the numpty over one of your longest standing friends. I'm like, well, yeah, I know I did.
The thing is, you're not the only person in the world to do that. A lot of people do it, because if that person's come into your life and they're making you feel safe and secure and happy and loved and everything, you're not gonna want to let go of that, are you? So you don't want to believe
it's
what
like a
people are
fairy
doing.
tale.
You don't want to believe what other people are saying. It's only when you
Like,
start to hear it from multiple
going as
places.
far as wanting to change the kid's name to his name, I was like, hang on a second. I said, well, these are children you're messing around with. Like, an autistic child you are messing around with. Well, they can call me dad if you want. I'm like, no, they can't. Do you know? And then he used to say to me, oh, you're not listening, or you just don't understand. Then he kept like, this family unit's all I ever wanted, and I was like, oh my god, I'm getting myself wound up now because I'm talking about him.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'm gonna try and do something. There's somebody obviously must have seen my stories, and is it I Am Power or something like that? He offered try and do a book or something.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to take my time up. I want to be able to use it positive.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And
then I'll
you
let
want to
him
create
forget,
something from it.
Then I'll let him forget, and then I'll put his face all over Home Faith where he works. Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to discuss before we end the live? Because I'm worried
just
it's
be
gonna
careful
cut
who
out.
you let into your life. Just be careful. It's so important. It's massively important.
Yeah.
Like, you two look like, obviously you're brilliant anyway. But you don't find, it is so easy nowadays to go out and meet somebody else, which is right, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's so easy to stay in and meet people as well, like you say,
exactly.
with the online dating world. Do it all from the comfort of your sofa, and then suddenly
you don't have to go anywhere, do you? You just have to press a few buttons. Put 20 miles away. I think I put 5 miles away. Yeah. But so do you live on a narrowboat?
No, in a van.
In a van.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we do van life.
So I might I'm gonna probably have like a glass of wine now, and I'm so tempted to put this video on. He's got his uniform on as well. And he's grabbing himself and stuff. But only one person out of everybody has come forward and said to me, you do realise he's in a really bad way mentally. And I thought, that's obviously somebody that he's tried to. Even one of his work colleagues have said, he's a weirdo, he just sits in the corner by himself all the time. But to look at him, to look at him, it looks like he could have anyone. Confidence, loads of confidence, first on the dance floor. You know, like, he actually looks like he belongs in somewhere like like Love Island, if that makes any sense. Muscles, dark. He's fully grey hair. He's got blue eyes. He's a really, really good looking guy. But
just goes to show that people can be deceiving, and looks can be deceiving, and
you can't polish shit, can you? No. Basically. So yeah. Are we all right to save this video so I can pop it on the stories?
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna save it to Instagram first, and collaborate with you until tomorrow, and then I remove it off Instagram, and then I keep it on my YouTube.
Yeah, brilliant. I found today that if you were tagging like domestic violence and tagging things like that, I think the views kind of come up a little bit. I think a lot of people. Yeah, I don't know if you can tag on YouTube.
I'm not sure. I'll give it a go though.
Have a look.
Yeah.
No problem.
And then when I do get the Claire's Law back and the Sarah's Law back, we will do another video if you want.
Yeah, we'll have another discussion about it.
And see how you're doing, what's progressed. Because it's really interesting, because like we said, we'd never heard of these laws and these things. Obviously, it's not so fitting for us in our current situation, but you'd think you'd know about these things anyway and be able to kind of tell people about it. So it's obviously not very well publicised and very well known about. So definitely.
Yeah, it's been nice chatting.
Yeah, no, it's been lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it's been lovely. Your house is that ivy at the back?
Yeah. So it's fake flowers.
So where are you?
We can't keep plants alive.
Is it a living room? Are you sat on your bed?
Yeah. So we're in the bed, and then we've got our little kitchen and the van, because we're in a van, like a small van.
I bet you love it, don't you? I'd love that. You're so lucky.
Yeah, no, it is lovely.
Do you move around, or do you stay in one place?
Yeah, so we were in Turkey, and we're just slowly driving back into England.
So where are you now?
Yeah, we're in France now. We've just come from away from Turkey, through Greece, down into Italy, into France. So yeah, we've been away from home for 9 months. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. Yeah, so we will chat, and then obviously when I get the Sarah's law and the Claire's law,
you can keep us updated.
Yeah, but like the police said, I can do what I want with it, but they can't give me a copy.
No, that's fair enough.
So anyway, have a good night.
And thank you so much.
I'll speak to you messages.
Sharing the story is such an important
fine. It's fine. I did actually. Somebody, a couple of reporters actually said, "Oh, you've not had any stories or anything. I've not seen the guy around. I've not seen the kids. Is everything all right?" So I don't know. I don't really want to do that. I'd like to take it to like a woman's magazine.
Yeah.
But I did try, and they'd have to make one attempt to phone call to him.
Oh wow.
And if he didn't answer that time, they've tried to contact him, then they'd publish it. But they've got to make that, they've got to try that first contact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, take care. I'll let you end it because I don't want to press the wrong button.
Yeah, I'll let Lauren end it because I'll end up pressing the wrong button.
Yeah.
All
right, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.